Good afternoon or good morning, wherever you are around the world. Thanks for tuning in. It is the Weekend Waves podcast. I'm Spinksy, your host, and we have a very surprising guest here today, an iconic singer-songwriter, Australian gentleman, lives down the road in Brisbane. And yeah, I used to frequent a lot of pubs, still play his music or their music continuously on loops, getting me amped for surfing or whatever mood I'm in. It's Mick, and I hope I pronounced this right, Medew from the Screaming Tribesmen.
Hey Anthony,
How are you, mate?
I'm good, mate. You
Oh,
can
mate.
say you can say Medew.
Medew,
A lot of people say Medew.
is it French?
Well, there's a bit of a story attached to that one.
Okay, let's
Yes.
go.
Oh, okay. Yeah, one of my ancestors, English fellow,
Hmm.
um, it was descended from the Earl of Sandywell, and he married a French dancer and was disowned by the family because he married this girl.
Mm.
And so originally it was Madew, Madew, and people kept calling him Mad, and he got a bit jack of that, and so he changed the spelling of the name to Medew, Medew, instead of Madew, Medew. He did that in deference to the girl he married, who was
Right.
when they came to Australia.
Well, there you go.
There you are, yes.
And you're not really a Michael, are you, or a Mick?
Uh,
Um,
Michael, that's my middle name. Yeah, a lot of people, my generation, um, we often get my father's name was Robert, and
right.
so they decided, it was getting confusing, so they started calling me by my middle name, Michael, which
Right.
morphed into Mick.
Yeah.
Lindy Morrison and people like that, they have the same problem. Lindy's not her first name,
Okay.
you
Right.
know.
Mm.
Yes. So,
Awesome.
yes, I have a lot of names. I've got a confirmation name as well, so I put them all together, and I have a very long name. I could say I'm Robert Michael Terence Joseph Medew Jr., also known as Mick, and Mickey Mickey, and Mickey Micky, and even Mike.
A long name. You just mentioned Terence. That's
Yeah,
my son's middle name.
yeah, right. Yeah,
Yeah.
your third name at birth. He gave us three names.
Yeah. My son, Kobe Terence, named after my wife's father, who's obviously no longer with us. But yeah, he was a Terence. Yeah. Wow. That's weird, but a very long name. And why are we here? Is because I'd like to see what you're up to these days. Like, I know that you're continuously involved with music. Back in the, how would you say, oh, late 70s, early 80s into the 90s, Screaming Tribesmen. Like before that, there was the another band with the 30
The
first.
31st. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that
And,
was with Ronnie Pino.
yeah, rest in peace.
Yeah, it was recently passed. It was very sad.
Yeah.
Um, I was glad I got to spend a bit of time with Ronnie in 2019 after my mum passed
Mm.
in 2018. I yeah got to visit Melbourne. Went down and played in Melbourne three times in 2019. Saw Ronnie. Um, Ursula also had the birth of her first grandchild that year, and they were down in Melbourne, so we were going down there. Played a couple of solo shows. This is before I started playing with Ursula. Just
Hmm.
went down and played a few solo shows and saw a bit of Ronnie, and saw Arthur, the number one grandchild. And yeah, so that band was with Ronnie Pino and two of my friends from school that were in my class at school. Tony Robertson was the bass player. Of course, you probably know Tony from the Hitmen and the New Christs. and yeah, a lot of other great Aussie bands as well. He's played in a lot of different things. And
Mm,
Chris Welsh was, of course, the drummer in the Dry Pity, and he drummed in the 31st as well.
mm,
And yeah, used to jam with Chris from quite an early age. When I first got my Stratocaster when I was about 16,
mm,
we were kind of like the Black Keys before anybody had thought of the Black Keys. You know, this is like 1978, 1979. I used to jam with Chris. You know, just the two
yeah.
of us. And so yeah, yes, that's right. The 31st was kind of where it all kind of
Started.
started. Yeah, I had a band in high school as well. We played a couple of shows. Played at the Musicians Club, which was in Charlotte Street in the city next to Festival Hall. That was
Hmm.
my first ever show in public. I was 17, I think, at the time. I was 16, 17. We supported a band called Abel Magwitch, and they loaned us their backline. And the guitar player had a Marshall, and I had a semi-acoustic copy of the 3S335 at the time of Hoffner. And yeah, I made it feed back, and the roadie for Abel Magwitch used to look like a 6'6" version of Paul Rogers or something, and said, "You make that guitar, you make that amp feedback again, mate. I'm going to pick you up and I'm going to throw you out that back window." There was a window directly behind the drummer at the stage. So yes, I was threatened to start with. Tried not to let it sort of put me off.
Mm.
But yeah, it was quite an experience. Yeah, we only played a couple of shows, and then the 31st played. Um, and it's history.
Mm.
It's all
And
history from there, yeah.
yeah. See, I'd never even heard of that band until I, dug deep into the Wikipedia and found that out. But the Screaming Tribesmen, as a young man, young kid, really, teenager, I remember because I live on the Sunshine Coast, and I remember you coming up. It was the Tomos, the Galaxy at Alexandra Headland, seen you playing there. I was pretty much up the front, not that you would have noticed then. As I mentioned to you earlier before we started, I still listen to quite a lot of the Tribesmen's music on a continuous playlist. It's whatever I'm mood in, I might be feeling down. I want to listen to a sexy girly song and meeting up with a girl, breaking up with a girl, or, grabbing out the dagger for a vampire dance or whatever, But, and
There
then and
there are
it's
amazing, there are amazing
Mm,
heady days on the playing up on the Sunshine Coast. I remember I used to love it. I used to love the Villa Noosa at Noosaville,
mhm.
and Sunday nights at the Galaxy. That was amazing. There's like, 1,200 people
Yeah,
would turn up to watch us play. We would think, gee, this is incredible.
yeah,
And Tomo's, yeah, and Fisherman's Wharf.
yeah, Goldie.
Um, oh yeah, I used to love it up there. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I remember you're up there and you're in your tightest pants, skin tight, shirt, sometimes not, shirt open, beads, sweating and just loving the scene. It was Are we going to see any more of that soon?
Well, we're the Mick Medew and Ursula 4. We've got a new song. We've started on a new album, and we've got a yeah, new album won't be out till next year, but we've got a song coming out before the end of the year. In time for
Oh,
the Triple Z Top 100. So
awesome.
they're pretty nice to us last year.
Yeah.
So yeah, just releasing the one song. We've never done this before. We're going to do a clip for it, and we're just going to put it out on Bandcamp.
Yep.
Barman, our our label, yeah, just we're still with our label, but yeah, we're just going to put this song out on Bandcamp, and about where I live, we've like a lot of suburbs in Brisbane, we lost our train station for about 18 months or something. So yeah, it's a song about losing our train station. We've got it back again now, so
Would that be Banyo?
that's right. Yeah, yeah.
Crazy. So back in the days, like you still are very much involved with the music scene, actually accolades too with receiving a Queensland Music Award, the Grant McLennan or something like that award for lifetime achievement.
Should I go and should I go and grab it and show you?
Yeah, why not, mate? Be lovely. Thank
Why
you.
don't I do that, hey? I won't be
Yeah, good on you, mate. Thanks, mate.
1 second, Anthony.
So we're waiting for Mick. He's going to get his uh, award, and yeah, you don't get to see this much on a podcast, do you? Here he comes.
Here we go.
Oh, look at that.
Show. You see that at all?
Yeah, I can. It's beautiful, mate. Epic. Nice. Not a finger mark on it. Nice and clean. Yeah.
It's lovely receiving a Queensland award, you know.
Hmm.
I was, yeah, I kept the glass too from the powerhouse, the venue. Walked out with the glass. I was a bit drunk, Anthony, by that time.
Okay.
Not used to not used to too many drinks now. I'm getting a bit older, but I suppose this was 9 years ago now. This is 20 no, 10, yeah, 10 years.
10 years ago. Hmm.
Years ago, yes. Very, very proud of that indeed.
Yeah. Well deserved.
Yeah, I was very, very happy to. It just took me out of the blue. I thought they were having me on when they got in touch with me. I thought, oh, someone's having a go at me. I didn't think it was real.
Oh,
Uh,
really? Oh.
and yeah,
Hmm.
and it's lovely. The place they had it at the powerhouse down here in on the Brisbane River at New Farm. They often have things there on a Sunday afternoon, live spark. It's free music on a Sunday afternoon. Normally have two bands play. Sometimes things from interstate.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, back in the day with the Aussie rock bands that were touring around in that, that 80s and early 90s, with the venues. You personally, have you, well, I've known, I don't see it looks really, obviously with the digital age, people get out now and they're expressing and putting out their music via, you know, things like Spotify, etc., whatever, Bandcamp, and self-promoting instead of, because there's not many of those of, venues to actually get out there and rock and roll. Like there's one up here, the Soul Bar. If you come up this way, it'd be lovely to see you and the Ursula Four. That'd be fantastic. So,
Oh, we'd love to. Look, we'd love to come and play on the Sunshine Coast. We'd
mm,
love to do that. Um, when we were a duo, we were trying to get some shows up there. I've got another mate of mine. I don't know if you know him actually. He goes by um, Hail Vibrania on Facebook. My friend Dave.
okay.
That he um, yeah, he works up at a music shop up there too, and we did a few shows with him. Dave Logan, I don't know if you've heard of him.
No, I haven't heard of that.
Yeah, he used to play down here. He's one of those guitar players who can just he used to have this Friday night residency in at uh, oh, I've forgotten the name of the place now. It's now called Netherworld. It wasn't called that then, but you know, he'd just play all the hits from all the cool songs from like about 1979 to 1981. You know, all Soft
Mm.
Cell and Susie and the Banshees and you name it. He could do all this kind of stuff on an acoustic guitar. And we went and played it up at Nambour with him at that record shop that's up there in Nambour.
Relic Records.
Yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, played up there. But we haven't played up on the Sunshine Coast for a couple of years. We'd love to play, especially now with the band. It'd be great.
It would be. Yeah.
Bands, the
Fantastic.
new band's really firing. I really love it actually.
Hmm.
It took a while to wasn't sure if I wanted to start another band for a while there. I had the duo with Ursula for a couple of years after COVID,
Mm.
and yeah, it's the first sort of band that I've involved with since COVID. Yeah.
Yeah, you took a bit of a back seat after the tribesmen there for quite a while too. Just was you away from the music industry at all, or you just?
Oh, look, Anthony, I'll tell you what happened really. You know, like when Chris and Bob, when the band sort of that was really well known, the band that you saw in, up to 1988, 1989, the band Screaming Tribesmen kind of split really after that tour of the USA and Canada in 1988. We came back to Australia and toured for a while in 1989 and then pretty much split, and I had to kind of continue on my own.
Mm,
It's left in a bit of debt and kind of thing, and sort of continued and went to Europe a couple of times after that. We played all over Germany and France and the rest of Europe in 91 and 93. But by the end of the tour in 93, I thought, oh, was a very kind of slow decline, which I enjoyed, but I thought, hey, the writing's on the wall here,
mm,
Nirvana had kind of arrived on the scene, and it was bands like Nirvana and Soundgarden that were kind of owning the music scene at the time, things had sort of changed.
mm,
And I thought, oh, you know, I've had this band, had the Tribesmen since, 1981, it's now 1993. And we'd had a very good first trip to Europe in 1991, had big shows in Berlin and big shows all over Germany. The second trip in 1993, we had a different label. We'd had a German label in 1991, and that sort of finished, and we had a French label in 1993. And the tour wasn't as good as the first tour in 1991. Half the German leg got cancelled, and we'd sort of left. We'd sort of the tribesmen. We kind of left going to Europe a little bit late,
mm.
and so I sort of thought, okay, I'm going to try and do something else. Took me 3 years to wind it up. We didn't officially break up till 1996.
Wow.
I come back and continued to play in Australia. And then, yeah, I just wanted to have a break from things, really. And
Mm,
yeah, moved back up here to Brisbane in 2002. So I was in Sydney for a full 20 years, from April 1983 to December 2002, and sort of come up here not really with the aim of starting a band, really. And sort of just I was still playing music, but I wasn't too sure about starting another group. And yeah, hooked up with my friend Paul Hawker, who played bass in the Rumours, and that was kind of he was pretty persuasive.
mhm.
So before you knew it, I was back playing again, and we cut a record a few years later, and haven't looked back since really.
Yeah, nice.
Paul's passed away now. It's a shame. He left us in 2011, much too young. He's only not long turned 50, and it was a bit of a shame. A lot of our friends up here were very upset.
Mm,
Um, and the Rumours, although I was the major songwriter in the band, it was kind of Paul's band.
Right.
in a way, you know. They sort of kept the rest of us in line, and we practiced at his house, which was he rented this house. Um, it used to be owned by a bit of an infamous Brisbane character called Hector Happeter. Um, this place in Spring Hill that he had, it was one of the few places in Spring Hill that had a pool and a spa at the back kind of thing. And this because it was used to be owned by Hector Happeter, who knew the Bellinos and a lot of the kind of I, s- I don't know if you can call them underworld
Yeah.
figures, but yeah, he knew a lot of colourful characters, and yeah, sort of meeting him started me on the path back to music again.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad he did that, and I'm glad that you're still enjoying and playing. What do they call that? That background and ad-libbing stuff without, like computer music. Have you ever decided to go with using that kind of thing, or you just stay back, plug the guitar in the amp, and away you go?
Well, the first time that I had been involved with that side of music was uh, when Ursula and I released our first album, Love Is Calling. I don't know if you are familiar with the Brisbane electronic rock group called Boxcar.
No.
Yeah, well, there's a remix that they did of Love Is Calling.
Mm-hmm.
I can see it on YouTube.
Okay.
And it's on Bandcamp, and they did a terrific version of our song. Um, um, just rearranging it, and they added a bit of bass here and there, and I listened to a lot of their stuff. They had a bit of a following up here for in the 80s, I think, in Brisbane, and didn't quite sort of cross over into huge commercial success, but they still had a very big following. A lot of people knew them, and they were considered very cool.
Mm-hmm.
It was very cool to like Boxcar, and yeah, the guy from Dave Smith, he's done a wonderful rendition of Love Is Calling, Roma Street Mix and Brunswick Street Mix. There's a few different mixes. They're all available on Bandcamp,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, I encourage you to have a listen because they're yeah, there's four different remixes he's done of them, and we're just absolutely thrilled. Actually, yeah, with yeah, with it, yeah, and yeah, like Boxcar, a lot of Ursula. My wife knew them. That's how we sort of that's how I come to get in touch with them, you know.
So you're
And
very involved with the, sorry.
incidentally, Anthony, we had some great, or Ursula had some great news today, actually.
Oh.
Her band Ironing Music that she had in the 80s. Some people that all the curate fashion shows in the USA. They got in touch with her today for one of her tracks called Question. Yeah, it's an Ironing Music track. And yeah, so it's all very exciting. So we're going to hear more about that. Speaking of, you know, modern stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's good. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're very involved with any of the youth, up and coming youth bands and music and so forth at home?
Yeah, we've got
You-
had a couple of young friends of ours appear in our Punk Grandma film clip. That's Lucas, the fellow there. He works for the Endeavour Foundation. Sometimes you'll see him on TV, little glimpse of him.
Okay.
Yeah, he's also a bit of a part-time comic, does a bit of live stand-up work as well.
Mhm.
And and the young girl in the clip, her name is Delilah Moon, and she's the daughter of John Wilsteed, who played in Go Betweens, plays in Halfway.
Right.
at the moment. Yeah, it's quite the Brisbane luminary, and yeah, he's had a lot of success. So yeah, we got them to play to, I mean, come and perform with us in our clip. That was a lot of fun, and yeah, yeah, well, that's one example anyhow. Yeah.
Yeah, so good. Um, People recognize you down the street? Like, you know, like I'm 56, so, you know, back in the day, as I said, like I would have recognized you personally, back in the day, but now I don't think I would, you know. It'd be, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, maybe not. But do you
Yeah,
get people running up to
some
you?
people do, even here in Banyo. I can't escape. True. It's true.
Benyo.
Yeah. I sort of don't mind either. It's nice, you know. It's not out of control. You know,
Hmm.
like if I was Tex Perkins or
Yeah,
someone like that, I'm not sure how I would cope.
yeah,
But
yeah,
it's still quite a nice thing for me when someone acknowledges me, you know.
yeah, for sure, for
Yeah.
sure. You keep in contact with the other members of that are still around from the tribes, then, like Brad, because obviously he's Voodoo Gurus, and yeah.
Yeah. I saw Brad a few years ago up here. Mesmerisers played with Voodoo Gurus at the Hamilton Hotel. It was quite a while. I suppose it's 10 years now. So yeah, Chris Mazawak, we're playing with, and he's coming out here in November with his band. Well, not with his band from the States that he has, the Revelators, but he's got another couple of guys from Sydney that he, you know, play with him when he comes here to Australia, and he's doing a little mini tour of Australia, and we're playing with him at the Cave Inn in
Mhm.
Brisbane on the 15th of November, and also at Banshees at Ipswich on the 16th of November. So it's the Saturday and the Sunday. Saturday 15 at the Cave Inn,
Mhm.
and 16th, the Sunday night at Banshees in Ipswich with the Spivs, another
The
mates
Spivs.
of ours. So we'll probably get up and do a couple of tribesman songs with Chris at some stage. Haven't discussed it with him yet, but that's what we did last time. So
Yeah,
we'll probably
nice.
do that. So I'll see him. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm in touch with Warwick too, Warwick Fraser, that played drums with
Hmm.
us. He now plays in the Psychotic Turnbuckles.
Right. Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
they're very happy about that.
Mm.
And Bob Wackley's, he's still over in Michigan, Grand Rapids, Michigan. He has his own band over there called White Rabbit, and yeah, I'm in touch with him a bit. Um, yeah, yes, it's good. My
You know,
mate Jeff Silver that I played with for a long time, that come to Europe with me. I still see him. Michael Charles, played with him in the Mesmerisers recently, and
mm,
we're still in touch. I keep in touch with most of the
yeah,
people
that's
I've played with. Yeah,
yeah.
it's good on social media now too. Makes it a lot easier.
What that? Yeah, certainly. Yeah, exactly right. Um, yeah, I totally relate with that. Connecting with the people over that, it is easier. Yeah. Um, wow. So aren't you playing in October as well in Brisbane? No? Is there something coming up next month?
No. We've
Stella and for yourself? No?
later this month. I've got a duo thing. We're just playing at a bit of a birthday party thing, really, over at Adelaide. Our bass player Lowell, she's going overseas for 3 weeks, so I'm just doing that show with Ursula. Um, but yeah, our shows are in. We're playing down the Gold Coast with the Johnnies. I think the
That's
Johnnies.
the one I was sort of thinking of. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's November 28th.
1 November. Okay.
That's just after the shows with Chris, the week after with Chris. And then And then we're playing with my mate Johnny Macker from the Cosmic Psychos,
Oh God.
playing with him at Blutz at December 19th. I just saw that film clip. I really love beer. Have you seen it yet? My God. Okay, check it out. Oh, yeah, I love him. Yeah, so yeah, he's playing, yeah, playing
They
with,
they played a lot. They actually didn't they back up Nirvana, I think, at one point traveling.
yeah, well
Um,
they're off to the US soon, I know that. So it's yeah, quite possible, but
well, they were. I think they did back in the day. I'm sure they did. Yeah, I'm sure they backed up. Oh, no, it was the Pearl. I think it was Pearl Jam.
right.
Yeah, I think it was Pearl Jam that they were touring with, and they were the leading, the intro band, so backing band. Yeah. It was Pearl Jam. That's who it was. Yeah.
Hey,
Mm.
hey, can I just go to the toilet?
Of course you can, mate.
All right, I won't be a second, all right?
Yeah,
Okay.
you're right.
Thanks for that. Thank you.
That's all right. We'll cut out the vacant part,
Yeah,
and we'll just
yeah.
add in.
It's having a drink during the day, see?
Yeah. Yeah, I sort of try to stay off it as much. More social than anything, But
Yeah, that's right.
yeah. It was
Yeah.
good in the younger days where you could really didn't care really what was
No,
going. You didn't care what was going in you, really. It's like we won't go anywhere further than that. But yeah, you sort of, oh, hold on, weigh the horses down. Sometimes your body tells you to sort of slow
that's right.
down too. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. So a lot of the music that I listen, I still listen to Triple Z. Um, so I haven't subscribed for a few years. Sorry, I should, but
Yeah, go on, do it. Go
yeah,
on.
yeah. And to be quite honest, it's one of the better stations that I still would listen to. I'm not in, the commercial radio out there, but just to listen to all the different genres, even the people that get on and speak, it's very diversified. And to me, that seems to be the world. And it's great,
They reckon there's a couple of interesting things. They reckon only 20% of the people that listen to them are subscribers.
Wow.
And I don't know what it is now, but someone was saying, I don't know how long ago, 18 months ago, a year ago, they have only got about 2,500 subscribers.
Wow.
And it's just like, gee, they do a very good job
Yeah.
kind of thing for you know,
Yeah.
I'm sure they're not as well resourced as they'd like to be kind of thing, but they do very well, yes.
And been going for years and years and years and years. I remember,
Yes.
Riptides morphed into Gangajang. They were a big part of, I think, Mark Callahan, or I think his name is. I can't remember the lead singer from them, but they were all obviously big uni students and everything.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
yeah, your some of your songs out of the Tribesmen, they did very well in the US college scene too, like up there in the top 10.
Yes, I've got a feeling worked very well in the US college scene. We were on MTV 120 Minutes.
Mm,
Um, album was top five in Seattle. I've got a feeling went to number seven on the Billboard Modern Rock charts.
mhm,
Um, yeah, it was pretty exciting, particularly towards the end of the tour. By the time we'd sort of been through the Midwest, done the western half of the continent, back through Canada, and by the time we'd gotten back to the East Coast, we're getting quite yeah, it was starting to sink in that we were, starting to get popular. And when we come back to Australia, that sort of blew our mind a bit too. And then before we know it, things had changed quite a lot. But yeah,
yeah.
pretty mad times, the 80s and the 90s.
Um, the album, The Bones and Flowers. is that a story? What do they call that? Like a concept album in a sense? No?
Um, Gee,
You
I
know,
don't
yeah,
know.
yeah.
It's
You've
hard.
got the girl, uh, you're talking about the girl, loving the girl, and then she's turning into the rah, 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 the vampire, a date with the no, no, dancing with the vampire or something. I think it is. Yeah, the other one. Or yeah. Mm,
Well, a lot of, I guess a lot of songs are just written kind of, I guess quickly on the road because we're always playing all the time, whatever sort of chance we had to try and get a bit of time to write was good.
yeah.
We didn't want to be sort of writing songs when we were actually in the studio. Wanted to try and have them ready before we went in there,
Mm,
and it was all about trying to. We always seemed to have such a schedule in those days, It was like, particularly in Sydney, uh, there was a band in every pub, and the pubs were just jumping 7 nights a week. You may as well say,
yeah.
we'd be playing out at Epping on a Tuesday night, and be out at Cabramatta on a Wednesday night, and at Gladesville on Thursday night, and in the city on Friday night, and then out to Carringbar in the southern suburbs on Saturday night, and the Blue Mountains on bloody Sunday night or something.
Mm,
Just constant travelling and travelling through Victoria and Queensland, and yeah, yeah, we're just on the road a lot. Hard working band. A lot of the bands were in those days. There was a lot more shows for groups and people going out during the week.
yeah. Yeah. That's exactly more venues, and yeah, people did do that. I remember Monday and Tuesday was like our relaxing part of the week. From Wednesday, Wednesday just gradually, and by Friday come Saturday, the weekend was just full throttle. Hang
Yeah.
on, just going to work on a Monday morning. Yeah, it's
Uh,
definitely changed like that now. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Have you had any of like promoters and everything invite yourself or the band as a whole back as Screaming Tribesmen to join, they have these summer band tours now, like so the church are getting up there, crowded house going around touring and yeah, have you?
yeah, yeah. Well, it's always there. People are asking every
Mm,
now and again for sure.
mm,
Um, we often think about it.
yep.
Um, of course, we did the Reformation in 2011,
Hmm.
and did a brief tour of Europe in 2012 after the Reformation here. In 2011, as you know, we went and played the Askina Festival in June of 2012. Ozzy
Mm,
Osbourne and Black Label Society and Steel Panther, Status Quo, Lynyrd Skynyrd.
wow.
Um, who else played? Twisted Sister, Blue Oyster Cult, 3 day thing. So we went over and played that in Spain, in Basque country, really,
Mm,
Vitoria, which is about an hour out of Bilbao. And then we ducked next door and did just 4 dates in France. We played French Music Day in Bordeaux. That was a big outdoor thing, and a little club in Rennes called the
mm,
Mondo Bizarro after the Ramones song, and played in Razak and played in Paris. And it's 2011 and 2012, and that was it.
mm.
And yeah, so you never know. We could. There's nothing stopping us from doing it again. I don't know when we're gonna
Do it.
do it, but you never know. We probably
Yeah.
have to do it
Mm.
soon, actually, before we get too much older, I suppose. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, well, yeah, that'd be great. I don't want to wait too long either because I'll be getting older myself. Well,
Yeah,
mate, on that note, I would like to just again thank you so much for joining me here on the podcast. I wish you all the best in Australia and the four in the ongoing.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
you mentioned Bandcamp. We're going to put the links at the bottom of the podcast so people can go and search up that and possibly subscribe as well and listen to that new single that's coming out in November. Is
Oh,
that right?
that'd be great.
Yeah,
Our label will love you for doing that, Barman at 94 Bar Records.
yeah,
He'll
yeah.
love you for doing that, Anthony.
Okay, awesome. Okay. Do I get to listen to it before it's actually out? Can we play it or do we got to wait?
Well, it's being mastered at the moment,
All
so
right. Mm-hmm.
once it's mastered, I'll get in touch with you.
Oh, well, that'd be great. Yeah. We get at it again on the podcast.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes. We've sent it off to our man that does the mastering, Ernie Open, Ernie Oppenheimer
Mm-hmm.
down in Sydney, friend of the Barmans.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're expecting it, maybe next week or something.
Awesome. All right, mate. As again, thank you for joining us. Been a pleasure.
Thanks,
And
Anthony.
we'll talk again soon, eh?
Will do, mate. Good on
You
you.
rock
Thank you.
on.
Will do.
All right.